Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Corey and Kevin Talk About Nothing. If you're tuning in for the first time,
I'm Corey.
and I'm Kevin. And welcome to our podcast talk show.
Welcome.
I hope everyone's doing all right out there.
Seriously, there's been treacherous things going on in the world today.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'm pretty sure there's always treacherous things. What things do you speak of? I'm just kidding. We don't need to. I mean, if you want to, if you have a social cause that you would like to shout it from the rooftops, go ahead right now. The floor is yours. You get the next 15 minutes to promote your favorite social cause. No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, okay, well, wait a minute. I have a lot.
Yeah, I have 15, so hold on.
Yeah. 1 minute each. I got this. All right, let's go. Anyways.
Welcome.
Hello.
Episode 109. If you're interested. If you're listening to these out of order, it shall not matter.
No.
I just got to say, I'm very excited. There are two things that are back in our lives on HBO, and Jessica and I could not be happier. We made sure to watch the movie on Saturday, and then our Sunday. That's an HBO day, right? You don't need to watch any movie.
Yes.
So
I totally understand.
From now on, we're gonna try to make sure that we do it that way and get the movie done Sunday. Because, I mean, come on, man. Okay, come on, man. All right. You want to hear? You want to hear it?
I want to hear it, but all right. Oh. So I knew this was happening when I messaged to try to get the squad together on Battlefield on Saturday.
Yeah.
It was so funny because you made a comment. We're going to watch a certain movie that we're going to talk about, which is The Eternals.
Yes. That's right. The Eternals.
Yes. And so The Eternals, and then we also Spider-Man. No Way Home.
By the way, real quick, did you know that dude signed on for another trilogy of solo outing Spider-Mans?
Well, it's crazy until a certain friend of ours told me. I had no idea. I was going to say that. I was blown away. And she actually said 4 of them.
He signed up for a trilogy, so I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I read too. But she swears up and down that she read that it's supposed to be that he signed a 4 movie series.
Well, that could mean many things, though. That could be the trilogy plus a side movie, like an Avengers movie, or appearing in other things. That just kind of signs them on. So,
okay.
I don't know.
So very well
Who
knows?
Be
then.
I just know of they're going to spend some time in the trilogy with, obviously, I mean, Sony's building up the villains right now. You got Morbius coming out, and you're going to have, it was Morbius and then, spoiler alert, if you did not stick around for some of the end credits of a certain movie, possibly Venom is now in the MCU.
Yes. Well, absolutely. Well, actually, so just to help you out with that as well, you didn't watch Venom 2, right?
No.
At the end of Venom 2, that scene is actually, so at the end of the movie, I'm not trying to ruin anything for you, but...
it's not part of that, yeah.
Yeah, so that he actually states that he's going to visit Spider-Man in New York City. He's making a trip to New York City. So that is already technically said.
Got it. Okay.
In that part. So now I'm not going to ruin what happens at the ending, but I'm just saying
that. Yeah. So that was already known.
It's already started. Yes, it was already known as a thing that he's going. So
interesting. Well, so there's that. There's Morbius, and then there's there's several others that I just can't remember right now. There was also like a rumor of the Sinister Six, which
really?
I don't know. Could just be if they use the same ones. I mean, that's the ones that we just saw: Sandman, Doc Ock.
Yes, yeah.
So it's don't want to push that envelope too far.
No, you did just enough this time.
Yeah.
Well, sorry. I don't want to. I don't want to go on a 20-minute rant about this. Yeah. I want to hear about your HBO Sunday.
All right.
I want to know what your HBO Sunday block is for.
Okay, so first off, the Righteous Gemstones. Just swinging and hitting home runs, man. The stuff is so funny. The content is just
hilarious. I watched season 1.
ridiculous.
I mean, I watched episode 1.
Oh, okay.
Today.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's
I
a long
finished
one. Yeah.
one.
That's like a 54-minute episode or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Something 5 something. I remember seeing that. So I knew I had just enough time to get before we got started tonight to watch it. So that's what I did actually.
Nice. Okay. Sweet.
So so I'm like, I got it in. I had to get it in.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
So that was
Judy in this this season has just been killing me. She is so outrageous, and some of the stuff she says to her dad is so funny that I've
the
been
singer, right?
just like belly laughing. The sister.
Yes.
Judy is freaking nuts. Now she was nuts in Vice Principals too. Did you watch Vice Principals?
Oh yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah,
she was definitely
Yeah, she was that psycho teacher. But she's absolutely nuts in this, and her husband was BJ. Did you see him say hi, Daddy to hi, Daddy, and everybody else is like,
oh
no. No.
Yeah, that's when you find out they got married at Disney World with Prince Charles.
That's right. They couldn't even get like a top tier Disney character or something like that, and he was so excited for it. He's such a goofball.
Well, BJ, what makes me laugh because his line there, he goes, he's the best looking one in the Disney thing. It was just, he was really selling it, man. He was just trying to sell it.
And she'll go with whatever he says, which is so funny because like when it's just those two, she's like, whatever,
Yeah.
I'm the boss.
Yeah, it's funny.
And the first season, that dude got yoked around too, which was really funny.
No.
So now there are 3 episodes out, and this last episode, because the ending of the second episode was pretty comical, and you get to see like where we're starting to see things spin up a bit here, and then
I'm wondering. I was wondering.
Yeah, and then see this episode 3 was just like these siblings are something else, man. Like especially when they combine, they're something else, man. So yeah, we've been very excited that the Royal Gemstones are in. The only thing I don't like is John Goodman has his mouth open so damn much.
Yeah,
he's just like looking around, like, dude, keep your mouth closed a little bit.
Yes. What are you? Yes,
you're
absolutely.
catching flies over there, man.
What are you doing?
It's like freaking me out.
Right.
What are you doing over there?
Yeah.
Like, are you a robot now? You just go back to a certain position. I don't know.
So can I? Well, I never mind. It might answer it for me. I won't say anything right now. I just have a question about who somebody is, but I'm gonna catch up so quick because now they're fast episodes to where.
Yeah, they're back to being super quick, and then and they're it's funny because you give me like a 54, 55-minute episode, and I'm like, it was funny. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I'm so happy it's back, but I was like, it was pretty long. And then you get to the 30-minute ones, and you're like, oh, they could be a little longer, Maybe they could be like that 44-minute structure.
Yes, absolutely.
But no, after the Royal Gemstones comes on at 10 to 10:30. There's a show that comes on at 9 that goes from 9 to 10. It's called Euphoria, and my goodness, man, this show is insane. And it's really good too. Like it's the writing, the acting is absolutely incredible. Like a lot of these actors are first time actors, and you'd never know. You'd think they've been acting their whole lives. Like they're some prominent child star or something. Like they know the gigs already. Like it's incredible. The season 2 is already starting off super strong. It has the same structure. It has the same feel. Like nothing's changed. Like we just had a brief pause, and now we're getting back to it. And it's funny because the first episode is New Year's Eve party, so it's funny because like as we're still in January and getting through, it's like
for sure, absolutely,
pretty relatable. But so we've there's been 2 episodes of that, and that show. it's insane. I mean, we're just wanting more to the point where we're like, man, we should not watch it for a few weeks so we have something to binge because they're phenomenal. The music, all right, I know I talk about the music all the time, but what's funny is Jessica actually started watching this show, and I was playing World of Warcraft on my laptop in the dining room while she's watching the show, and it was like the music drew me in. I'm sitting there playing, and I'm like, man, what show has this much good music to it? And like as far as I can tell, the dialogue all feels pretty natural. I have no idea who these characters are, but like, so then obviously you peek in, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'll be caught up by tomorrow. I'll catch you up, and then we'll both watch this one. This is really good, and we're sitting there, our commentary to each other is so funny while we're watching this. We're like, oh my god, because like, obviously now that we're parents now too, it's just like,
yeah,
I hope life isn't like this everywhere.
Please
be a Lexi of which Judd Apatow's daughter, Maud Apatow. She's one of the main stars in it. Zendaya, who we could do a full circle because she's obviously MJ. Which it's so funny to go from seeing MJ in Spider-Man: Far From Home, and then we watched the very first episode of Euphoria, and I'm like, my God, there's such a shift in human beings, Like,
really?
it is so funny, man.
I've never watched.
Hard R. Like, it is a hard R show. Now, I had told you
Euphoria
something.
Is?
Oh, Euphoria is a hard R show. Like, borderline pornographic at certain points. But it's all done like, I wouldn't even say pornographic. That gives it a bad rap. But very artistic.
Okay.
The lighting, the cinematography, the writing, the acting, the music, all comes together in this beautiful medley of just anxiety and terror and it's so awful, but so good, man. So good. If you have not watched Euphoria at this point, you need to. Like, it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's just crazy because I'm just in my mind. I'm just like thinking, you know what I mean? Like, how did I pass on this? Yeah, on this show.
It's funny. It's like yet another show I'm on here, and I'm like, it's absolutely incredible. But now let me be clear, it's still Lost, Breaking Bad, Succession. Okay. But Euphoria is up there, and there's several other shows that are up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying like this is the end all be all. This is gonna match for everybody. You might not like it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, the music drew me in, and then it's all certain color aspects. It's all different backgrounds. It's all different camera work. It's all different lighting. It's all very artistic, and I love it. It's I could almost assume, I could almost equate it to like, remember us watching Mandy and how interesting it was, like the artistic viewing of everything.
Artistic. Yeah, for sure.
That I would equate it to that. Like, it's very different. So
okay,
I love it, and I get real sad when it's not every day, or not every day, but we can't binge it and have one on. We'll watch this next one tomorrow. No, it's this week by week stuff is insane. Thanks a lot, Netflix.
Don't blame Netflix on your.
Well, yeah, the binging, man, the binging. Hey, let's just drop an entire season. You never have to wait. You just have to wait a year and a half for the next season.
Yes, that's the thing. So you're still waiting,
right? That's the problem.
You get everything. There, you get to watch everything in a weekend. You know, like that's what. So you have a great weekend once a year. So that's really that's about life.
So it goes back to the "I love you, man." It was so funny when he's like, "Hey, man," Jason Segel's character calls up Paul Rudd, and he's like, "Hey, man, you want to come out?" And he's like, "No way, man. Sundays are reserved for HBO," And it's like, I couldn't agree more. Like, everything has been so solid, especially lately. I mean, everything that we've been watching on HBO has just been like a knockout of the park.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And there's a third.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, all right. So, because Euphoria is
the second one, yeah,
World
Gemstones Euphoria, which I'm telling you, like I want to get the soundtrack. It was really actually interesting because somebody posted a behind the scenes. It was just like a very simple up close shot of the character Jules, but the lighting is awesome, right? And the behind the scenes show like they have this guy just holding like 15 linear bulbs of like this color and a camera. Like it's just projecting this light on this person and they captured it through the camera. It's like it could be so simple and look so messy and chaotic on the other side, but we just get to see like what they intended. Yeah. It was just really cool. And I'm telling you, I'm fairly certain this story is true. The character is Fez. What I had heard, what I had read was he was coming out of a store and a talent agent had seen him and he said, "Hey, don't get me wrong. I want you to audition for the show Euphoria. I think you'd be perfect." And boom, like literally, like these are first time actors.
Wow.
Like this is literally the first thing that they've ever been in, and you'd never know. You'd never be like,
dude.
Oh,
that's crazy.
That person is just not, up to these people's quality where it like takes you out of the movie, takes you out of the show a little bit,
Yeah,
you get those lessons like in The Unforgivable, the two brothers are like, okay, this is the part of the movie where I'm like, okay, where everything else is good.
Yeah,
there's none of that. Every storyline, every character, everything is solid. So. Moving on, because I will talk about you forever.
I gotcha. Okay, so, yeah. It's only been one season, right?
This is the second season. This is the second season.
Well, yeah, this is the second one. Yeah. But they're not dropped the full thing, right? You still got a week by week, right? The same thing. Yeah.
But there's so many shows now that it's okay. It's like a buildup of Sunday. You dread Sunday because you got to go to work on Monday. But hey, Sunday's not so bad.
No, I'm about to get back on that train because, because Righteous Gemstones, I'll be caught up on that. Probably by tomorrow. Oh, yeah. I mean, at least I'll say Wednesday just to be on the safe side. But anyways, but then I'm probably gonna start right away into something else just because. Well,
yeah, I mean they're generally pretty quick. I mean, half-hour episodes, 10-episode seasons, I think.
Yeah.
Now on our last episode, I had said I think it was we were on the Righteous Gemstones season 3, but that is incorrect. Actually, this is the second season of the Righteous Gemstones. So I do apologize for you people out there. You listeners and you watchers.
He can't get a damn trivia question wrong, but he can't remember how many seasons are of a show.
Right. There's just like so much that happens in that first season that I felt like Uncle Baby Billy was part of like season 2, or
that's funny. Well, because actually, I actually had to go back and I watched a recap on YouTube. It's the first thing, so because I wanted to see if I made sure I watched it because when I got on there. I mean, I know every character, but then all of a sudden I'm trying to think back. What happened? Like, what were certain parts? And what was the recap literally did a perfect job for me. A 15-minute recap for the entire season, at least of enough so far, I should say. As soon as I got back and I watched this first episode of season 2, and I'm like, yep. I know every character. Yeah, I'm good. You know what I mean? This is because I stopped at like five minutes in to watch that video.
Oh, okay.
And I did that earlier, and then I had to go snow shovel 19 feet of snow.
Yeah.
So,
build
so that's
igloos with the amount of snow that you're
absolutely
shoving.
It's wild.
Yeah, I'm very excited that I finally actually got to use the big boy snowblower.
Yeah, that's sweet. That's awesome.
I know. Although, it had its ups and downs and complications. I wish I was this next character because I probably would have blown that sucker up. Peacemaker, the TV show.
Oh, you started it? You did?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! All right.
Oh, okay. Anyways, let me go back to Euphoria for just 1 second because
right.
I had mentioned something to you, Corey, Kevin. We went to the theater together. We even took pictures together, and I posted them on Twitter there. Like we did.
It's only like the 7th time we tried.
Sure. Right. Like every time we're together, like we should get a picture, and then like,
yep.
But I was telling you, there's something happening, and it's been happening in HBO. It's been stirring for a while. Just it's been ramping up a lot lately, and it's so funny. So HBO used to be known for boobs, I would say. You know, like almost every TV show, you'd be like, oh, it's HBO. There's nudity. Oh, there's gonna be boobs in this episode. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Now you can guarantee it is going to be a dick. And it is so funny because, like, HBO does not shy away. They might have started off, you know, like, oh, let's test the waters out here, right?
Yeah.
So,
are people okay with this?
Yeah, right. And then they're just like, nah, here you go. So I was telling Jessica, I was like, it is the decade of the dick for HBO because in this last, all right, so in the first episode of Euphoria, there are people stripping because there's like a drug deal going on and the guy is freaking nuts. So he's trying to make sure nobody's wearing wires. So people strip it down and, you know, there you go.
Yep.
And this one, this girl's fantasizing. And this like Norseman comes out who's like 7 feet tall, who's built, and then rips off his thing, and they just angle it so like it's just like there in the frame, and it's just it cracks me up so much because I'm like, man, it's the decade of the dick, man. It might even be the century of the dick. HBO is just like, no, this is just how we're doing it from now on. It's so funny. It was so funny.
In both that you've shown too.
What's that?
Righteous Gemstones.
That's right. That's what I was going to say. Episode. The Righteous Gemstones did it too, right? Where like
that's what I'm saying. So like, nice dick, dude.
It cracked me up so much. Dude, I'm like, man, this
so much, dude. I laughed.
HBO is
so
like,
hard.
We're doing it. We're gonna show it all. They took a page out of Dennis's book right there, man.
Dude, does Dennis own HBO?
He writes for all HBO shows. Here's the thing, guys. In this show, too, we're going to show it all.
We're going to show it. We're going to slowly work everything into it.
Oh, man.
30 years later, man, full penetration.
That should be like instead of it just hits different, now it's going to be HBO. Decade of the dick. It's so funny. But I'm pretty sure. I feel like I'm sure Peacemaker will have something like that, if not already. It's like I've seen. It's like
so you have to think about.
Every show now, you're like, I don't even know. I feel like there was one in that show. I don't know, but Peacemaker, dude, is. All right, so I loved Peacemaker, John Cena, in the Suicide Squad. I thought he was hilarious. I thought his character was awesome. He was so funny because, like, he really thinks he's this guy. He really thinks he's Peacemaker. Like, I'll kill any man, woman, or child to get peace. And I'm like, you see what's wrong with that statement, right?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Yeah,
that's not very peaceful. But he really
killing is not peace.
Yeah, like I think you should look up peace in the dictionary, man. And this show is a lot of fun with his character, and he's going through like this, you know, inner turmoil, and it's very funny. It's very funny.
Is it very comedic? Very comedic.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
The entire time. Okay.
I find John Cena pretty funny for pretty much everything, and you know, pretty funny. I'm not gonna say he's like, man, this dude's out there making me freaking laugh, but he is like him as Peacemaker, man, makes me laugh, dude. And he's got a pet eagle, and it is so realistic looking. It's incredible. And you get to learn about the Peacemaker, the character, and some other things that are going on because, you know, when we meet Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad, he's in jail, and when we and when we leave him, he's in the hospital. So when the show picks up is him getting out of the hospital, it's like right after, you know, everybody's saving the world and stuff. I'm a superhero now. Damn it, Polka Dot Man. And that's the thing. Peacemaker walks around. He's like, "Aren't you that murderer?" No, I'm a superhero. It's very funny, man. He's very funny.
All right, I'll have to. I mean, I'm not saying I hated him. When I first watched, I did not like the Peacemaker, and the thing he kind of was like too much, and I don't know.
Dude,
I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, because I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there was a lot of people that watched the show that said that they didn't annoy him. So you know what I mean. I don't know if I was just took it differently the first time I watched it.
I don't know.
Sure, because I love the movie. That's the problem. The movie was fantastic. You know what I mean? I really liked
Operation Starfish. Now, starfish is sometimes code word for butthole. Is there a correlation there? Like he's not super intelligent, right? Like so he fully thinks he's like this freaking superhero. He's all in, dude. Like what you see is what you get. I love it. Yeah. I think so that would be a problem if you did not think that Peacemaker or John Cena was very funny in the movie, then you might not. I mean, he's the same exact character, and he plays it so funny. I just think of like some of the scenes that have happened. I'm just like I said, not super intelligent, so
it
gets messy often, and it's funny. But he's got it's very cool, very cool. So those are the 3 shows.
Okay. All right.
That I'm like super excited to talk about because they are awesome.
I'll give Peacemaker another thought. Euphoria is definitely I'll probably have at least a couple episodes of the entire show next week. For sure. I'll definitely we'll catch up on Righteous Gemstones. That'll be exciting. And then Euphoria. No, I didn't watch anything else. Never mind. That's why I was gonna say I watched Righteous Gemstones. I already talked about that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So because other than that, I didn't watch anything else new.
So what's crazy is, I'm pretty sure the first season of Euphoria they are sophomores in high school, and this next season they're like juniors or something like that, or they're gonna be it's freaking wild, man. I don't want my daughter to grow up, I'll tell you that. So I mean that's what I mean. Like, you gotta keep an open mind. It's not like I don't know what you thought the show is, but I
really don't know. I've never really looked. I have no idea. You're like literally telling me everything about the show that I've never even looked into. So I don't know.
Zendaya, who she's like the narrator, and you're like, I would say for the most part the main character, but there are a lot of side stories. You get a lot of people's histories because Rue is kind of this person who's filled with anxiety. She's a drug addict. She's overdosed. She's going through a rough time. And kind of like a wallflower, somebody who just sits there and observes. So she like knows all these intricate details, and even like if some of the details are like things that she wouldn't know, she's just the narrator of like the whole thing. But she's she's her own character too. Her name's Rue, and she's freaking wild, man. Like, she's just like, and shit's going down and it's serious. She's cracking jokes and kind of like smirking and laughing, and she takes nothing serious. And but like I said, I mean, they're in high school, so it's like a high school show. But it's just they're not high school kids. These people are like adults, man. Like, you're like, what the fuck? Your life's more complicated than my life ever was in high school. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
My God.
That reminds me of that one treasure show that we all watched.
You'll watch Euphoria and realize this is nothing like that, but I understand what you're saying.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying in general, like the life of
right.
They're never in school. They're out partying and sailing across the world. Yeah. Like that's what
we don't need school today. We're gonna skip again.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm just saying that's what it kind of reminds me of, something along those lines for it. So.
Well, these, I mean, it's very realistic because I mean, you're seeing them at school, you're seeing them at parties, you're seeing them at it's pretty realistic. But oh man, yeah, it's just it's so incredible the way they combine cinematography, the camera work, the music. Anyways, so yeah, Peacemaker, Euphoria, and the Righteous Gemstones.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, we still have Well, I think I only have one episode left. They dropped the first 3 episodes of the Peacemaker, so I've watched 2 of them.
Are they half hour or hour?
I think they're half hours. I don't think they're
okay.
Yeah, I think they're half hours.
Gotcha. All right.
Oh, even the intro makes me laugh. Anyways,
yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed him and the Suicide Squad. I thought he played just such a.
Well, I think that's the funny part. That's why I feel like I have to give him some sort of another shot because people liked him enough where they made a TV show. Like they continue this TV
real
show,
fast,
so,
dude.
Like, yeah, that's the thing. So apparently, either. I'm not saying I'm still not gonna say I'm gonna like him, but there's more of a chance that I probably should like him if everybody else has. At least are giving it a shot. I should say I don't have to like him. Give it a shot. Don't judge it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I say give it a shot. It's a lot of fun. I felt that way. With Amy Schumer a long time ago. Amy Schumer's never made me laugh. I don't know, for some reason. I laugh at all sorts of comedians, and she is the one that I'm I don't know. I don't find her that funny. And people you're putting her in movies, and then I was quickly, you go to Rotten Tomatoes, and you're okay, I'm not the only one. Okay, yeah, pretty much everybody else is. Okay. Got it. Okay. I'm not. No. I'm man, what is happening? I would say stop, but you're probably just losing money. But whatever. But then they're yeah, we were losing money, and they stopped. So yeah. So you say you didn't watch anything else other than the Righteous Gemstones and
no TV shows. Once again, that's another big weekend in football. So I watch football Sunday.
Oh, nice. That's sweet, though.
So I did that, and I took second in a blind draw in cornhole. Let's go.
Nice. That's sweet, dude.
So that was sweet. So
Very
I
cool.
won. I won $30. So it wasn't, but still $30 that I didn't walk in there with, right? You know what I mean?
Because it was a free. It was a free tournament.
No, it's a $10 buy-in.
Oh,
so you have to essentially
nice.
you go.
Hey, that's a $20 profit.
Yeah,
that pays for your beers that you had or something.
Exactly.
Or
Yep.
That's sweet.
So it was fine, and then I had fun doing it. You know what I mean? That's
exactly.
So that was fun. So that was, but that took an all day Sunday, and then Sunday night was an absolute shit show outside. So I really did. I just watched sports and then played games with the family, and we played some Among Us. So we
nice, that's fun.
It was fun, man. I downloaded my computer. I'm telling you, it's a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyways, so it was actually a lot of fun. It's fun because you mess with people. It's good, especially when you get a group of people that we all know.
Yeah, right.
I felt you feel comfortable messing with people when you're talking to other people. It's hard, you don't know who's lying, who's not. Anyways,
that sounds fun.
Yeah, so it was just fun. It was a good time. It was the first time we actually got done and did it. That's why I was it's exciting. I just but so I just didn't in my movie watching. I didn't do anything. I watched. Obviously the 2 big movies that we watched.
Yes.
Which so we did do some big things this weekend. Big things happened. So
yeah, big things.
So which one would you like to talk about? Yeah, what would you like to talk about first?
Okay.
Would you like to talk?
I'm gonna be honest. I would like to talk about Eternals first.
Okay.
Just because I don't know if I'm gonna have a whole lot to say about it. Just because.
Mm-hmm.
So I was excited when I saw the trailers because I thought it was going to be a very cinematic. I mean, which it was. It was very cinematic, very grand in scope and everything. But Marvel has laid the groundwork of insert joke here. Let's keep it light. Let's keep it moving and whatnot. And not saying that they can't or go move away from that, but it just felt a little off, slow, kind of didn't give a crap about some of them, kind of bored that they turned on each other because it was just that's who didn't see that.
Well, exactly.
So it's
you
sorry,
did the
spoilers,
obvious
but
things.
What really there were a couple of things that just kind of made me mad, and then overall, when it started, I didn't hate it at all. I like first like 20 minutes. I'm like, okay, like why is this thing getting such a bad rap?
Yeah.
And then once I got to that, I'm like, got it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Like actually, I would honestly probably say halfway to like 2/3 through the movie, I'm like, I just don't. I don't want to say I don't care, but they took so long to do what they were trying to do, and then when they got to that point, it was like they turned, you know what I mean? A little bit of events happened, and then the ending. You're like,
yeah,
whoa, you know what I mean? Like, what just happened here? You know what I mean? Like, I'm super weird
for being like these Eternals and these.
Yeah.
I mean, they showed off their power. They were cool, but like. They did nothing to build these characters up, so I really didn't care all that much anyways. And then, like, you always have that notion of, like, oh, it's going to work out anyways. It's a Marvel movie, right? All right, Thanos came and snapped. Okay, you know, that's cool. You ended a movie like that. That was incredible. Like, you know, nobody really saw that coming. And then, like, well, maybe there was. But then, like, you obviously know we're going to fix that. We're going to do something.
Well, for sure.
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
You know, something's going to happen. And then I was like, almost like, you know, saving one planet, but like these people are creating galaxies. Like,
no.
You might have to take like, I was like almost on Richard Madden's side, Superman or whatever his name was. Icarus. And I thought it was so, I'm going to say stupid because all right. So everybody knows the story of Icarus. He flew too close to the sun and his wings burned, right? So what happens at the end of the movie? He flies into the sun. Oh, wow. Really prophetic. Like, just stupid. And then I'm like, what a waste of a character, dude. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You're going to just waste, like, he's like the strongest one. Like, you're just going to waste him. Sweet. Same thing with Sprite. Okay, you would have to recast that character because obviously that person's going to grow and going to be different.
Exactly.
But, you don't need your powers anymore. And maybe that happens in the comic or something. I don't know. But I was just like, cool.
If it does, stop.
Yeah. I'm like, I guess I don't care. And then I was actually more excited about the end credits than I kind of was about the entire movie.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, I thought the Celestials were cool. And I thought the idea of Ashnar or whatever his name was, I can't remember, is like going to comb through the memories of these three. And all right, so Angelina Jolie, it didn't bother me as much as she normally does.
I was going to say, she wasn't terrible.
But the whole idea of like, I'd be like, she's obviously in turmoil. Like, she doesn't even know who she is. She's like bumping around and stuff. She's bubbling around. Why not just erase her anyways? What service are you doing?
Absolutely, yes. Because she's going to remember.
Yeah, and what is that doing for her? She's constantly trying to attack you guys. Stupid. You guys are supposed to be these beings. Jesus. Dumb. You guys are idiots.
Yes, and then okay, so and I have a problem.
Go ahead, because
yes, yeah. This so one of the characters, so like the inventor, okay. So how did he actually build these items?
I think he's like able to extract like material from things. So like,
is he okay? Thank you. That was my question.
Things. Yeah, because he was building like the steam engine, which I thought was cool, but it was too early, so they had to like go with the plow, which I thought was very funny.
Yeah, like they did it well. You know what I mean? And I thought it was essentially like his ideas. And then they would like. So then I thought the other, I forget his name. He would, how you can like mind control. Yeah. So I thought he would like put it in his brain. Yes, yeah. He would take that idea and put it in their brain to like then they invent it or something, right? So like so that's where my that's where my mindset was going, right? So that's what I'm thinking. So that's all sweet, you know what I mean? So they're not building anything. But then he's trying to build these rings and do this. You know what I mean? So like how is he like coming up with these magic things?
Oh, yeah. He's just using like all the resources around him and all that
yes.
stuff.
Okay. So okay, cool, right? Then that's fine. Because I understand like the rings will give him these powers. He's putting all these, the
Unimind
create something. Exactly. So like he's doing that. But then how does he take that and create it here with real shit? Like that was on my...
I didn't have a problem with that because like that's what he was, that's his ability is to build these things, like to build.
Well, don't be wrong. And super smart to do them.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have a problem with that. I like that actor.
I had questions.
Brian Tyree. It's a three.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's a three name guy. Brian Tyree. He's from Atlanta. He's a good actor. He's in a lot of stuff. What's Kumail? What was his name in the movie? I don't know.
Not too sure.
I don't know.
I really have no idea.
I don't know. There's several things that I was just like, this. I don't really care. You know.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. I didn't. Yeah.
The stakes weren't there. I mean, which like they should be, because it's like, oh, our planet's gonna explode, whatever. But honestly, I'd be sorry. Go ahead.
Did the guy from Game of Thrones, wasn't he involved in this at all?
Well,
the director or the writer?
Two guys.
Because now you have Cersei too. So you have Cersei. So Cersei's not from Game of Thrones. The name is thrown in there. They just named her Cersei, and then you have the
Jessica. I apologize. I thought they were saying Xerxes, like, because there's like a god named Xerxes. So I'm like, I thought that would make sense. When I looked it
Cersei,
up, it's Cersei with an S. Cersei with an S, and I'm like, yeah. Maybe that. I mean, I'm guessing that is just the comic book. Like, these are all from comic books. So
yeah. Well, yeah. So, but I just thought it was.
Yeah. The two brothers from Game of Thrones. Richard.
So
Madden,
I'm saying. So yeah.
And
yes.
Kit Harington.
Jon Snow.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember Jon Snow. I hated the show so bad at the ending. I just quit. I just don't remember the show.
You know, we were talking. Jessica and I were talking about like, when's the last time that HBO has really disappointed us? And I was like, hello, season 8 of Game of Thrones, and how about anything after season 3 of True Blood? I was like, everything else I'm pretty sure has been solid, but those ones, yeah,
not so good.
But anyways, yeah, I don't know. Druig, I was like on the same idea of him, like, what is it, like, he's useless if he's not going to help these people stop killing themselves, right? Like, I get there's a natural process or order to these things, but like, I don't know. Like, the whole mission, the whole thing, like, oh, we're not supposed to intervene, but like, you intervened anyways. Like, you literally gave water to crops. You were talking about with the plow and why not give them the thoughts and have them do these things? No, you're basically doing it for them. Why not just fight Thanos? Why not just do all these things? You're already helping.
Yeah, exactly. They even said that. Yeah. So you brought that part up to put the thought in my head of why are you not doing these? You know what I mean? Like, while you're there the entire time.
Yeah.
You could have literally stopped everything.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of them, and they all have a different ability. Like,
absolutely.
I mean, Angelina Jolie's Cena, drop the A. Cena was just like eraser, man. She's a liability.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just,
and then especially like, we learned that we all get erased anyways, and we go to a new planet. Eraser, man. She's
what is she doing? Yeah.
Obviously, though, in clutch timing, she's able to clear herself out of the white eye and fight. I was just like, nah. Sorry, Angelina Jolie. It's nothing personal in this movie. I just thought because I thought she did fine, but I think she
played well.
The character and the storyline was just like, that's stupid. I liked Gilgamesh. It was like the rough and tough fighter, just beating them with his fists. I liked Salma Hayek's character, the Ajak, the leader who could heal. I liked her. So I mean, I guess they're like characters I liked. I liked the one that was really quick.
Yeah, I was say she was sweet. She's probably one of my And they're all sweet, but that ability would be I still go back to that, like the Flash.
Yeah,
you know
just
what I mean? Like,
exactly. Yep.
Yeah, like that is like something that would be absolutely phenomenal to be able to handle. So,
yeah. So I think I see where they were going with this whole like this is like an epic because there's so many of them. There are these alien species coming to help the world of deviants and blah 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 blah. But really, it was boring, and you didn't do much for character backstory or character empathy because I honestly, I mean, like they killed some of them, and I was like, okay, it's just this actually just pisses me off more that you'd kill any of them, you know? Like,
yeah, but yeah, well, especially some of the. I mean, like, I understand, but like when they killed the final one of the demon things, wouldn't that like make like shouldn't they get their powers back or something? They just.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm just. I guess
deviants are the only ones that can kill Eternals, or well, not the only ones, but
gotcha.
Should be the only ones that are. They're like designed to kill each other or whatever. But you know, gotcha. Thanos is actually a mixture of Eternal and Deviant. That's why he looks so weird is because the Deviant gene came out, and he's the Mad King Titan. Or the Mad Titan or whatever. But so the reason why I say Thanos is because we are introduced to somebody in the end credits. Do you remember who that is?
Yeah, well, I remember his. Yeah, well, I remember the scene. I can't remember his name at the moment.
So his name is Eros.
You put me in the spot.
Yes, no, because you put me on the spot. So his name is Eros, and it's what's interesting because obviously I had more fun delving into the history online than I did in the movie. But Thanos, when translated to Greek, is it's the Greek word for death or something like that. It roughly translates to death in Greek.
Okay.
Eros translates to love. So they're these brothers because their parents are two Eternals that had these kids, and one is obsessed with death and one is obsessed with love. And so Eros actually goes by the name of Star Fox. So he will be Star Fox. Now that drunken troll, we talk about this all the time because Patton Oswalt makes his way into everything. That drunken troll, as soon as he started talking, I'm like, fucking Patton Oswalt, dude.
That's so
you made
funny.
it. You freaking made it.
Got him.
And then the other thing I was very excited for the end credits scenes was Kit Harington with the ebon blade. That's sweet. And then when he goes to pick it up, the voice you hear, where he's like, "You sure you want to do that, Mr. Whitman?" That's Mahershala Ali, who's going to be Blade in the series. So I'm like,
nice.
That's sweet.
Okay.
I'm like,
yeah,
that would be cool. So I was like more excited at the end, like the end credits scenes, than the movie. I was just like, by the end, I was like, I kept having to like stand up. Jessica fell asleep, which I'm like, man, I wish I could have. And then I just kept walking around. I just felt like, what a waste of powers. What a waste of characters, really.
They didn't do much.
They didn't do much at all.
You guys are there to do nothing besides kill these demon things that were going to come out. You know what I mean? Or demons. What are they called again?
Deviants.
Jeez, I don't know why I keep wanting to call them demon stuff, but deviants. So
they're Demogorgons.
That's what they're there for. Exactly. So why though? Like, I just don't understand. Like, it just blows my mind.
They explained it to you in the beginning. So the Celestials first created the Deviants, and the Deviants went off course and started becoming an alpha predator. So the Eternals were created to destroy the Deviants.
For sure. Well, yeah. So I understand that, but they do nothing else. Why give the Eternals these powers if they cannot do anything with the powers on the thing? That's where my mindset was.
Yeah.
You have these people that are living there for years and years and years, and they know what they are, but at the same time, they're also going out there living normal lives.
Right.
So like it's just kind of you're like I don't understand, But anyways, that's where my mindset is like it's just a weird scenario, and maybe I just don't like the storyline. Maybe that's what's messing with me during like those moments of it. So I'm just like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Simply put, I don't understand what you're trying to tell me right there. So, but
it has to be like because it's the lowest rated in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's the lowest rated on Rotten Tomatoes, 44%. Which I would say that's fair just because not only was it a pretty boring movie and you did not have as much like charm and these big illustrious fighting scenes and like Marvel has like a formula. And I'm not saying like the origin story formula is clearly like boring and broken and then that's why Shang-Chi and what was that other one that we watched that was awesome? God, I can't even think of it.
the Marvel movies?
Yeah, I feel like it was. Black Panther. That was great, and they have different elements within their movies. They deal with a lot with culture gotcha. And a lot with other things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where the most of Marvel movies are just about these people and how they got their powers and how they blah. This was also very similar to that, just like 7 of them or whatever, however many there are. And I'm like, and then you actually don't even get to like know all that much, and you only actually have to say it. So the stakes aren't there. I'm not emotionally connected to these people
at all.
Yeah, sure. I hope you save the planet, but I know you are. So it's like,
Yeah.
I know Marvel has a ton lined up movies, so I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Well, and then also like with that too, make me feel like I don't want to know the end of the movie. Like I shouldn't be sitting there a third through the movie and being like, okay, so when are they gonna save this world, right? When's this gonna like kind of like when's this just gonna be over? You know what I mean? Like when you start knowing what's happening, you know what I mean? You're like, well, when's it gonna be over then? Like, I'm trying to say is I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I did recommend it to somebody because they're huge Marvel fans, and I said, "Am I like because like you said, the elements are cool to see, but like other than that,
if you think about it, it's not even all that exciting because there's a lot of powers that we've already seen. Super speed, Superman. I mean, that guy's basically Superman.
Well, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
And then you have somebody who's super strong. You have somebody who's a super fighter. Like, okay, like, yeah. Now the trickster, the kid, Sprite. That was like one of my favorite ones because she could do so much. Druig was one of my favorite ones too because he understood. Like it's just kind of real crappy to have a power that I can help these people, yet you're telling me not to help these people. I'm like that goes against your intuition that like you have to go the other way. Like that, I don't know.
Yeah, 100%. My favorite was that because so back to like the rings thing.
Yeah,
I was talking about the guy making. So remember when he held down?
Oh, that was incredible.
That was awesome,
Icarus,
right? Like that
he
scene.
Held him down,
yes. Yeah, I'm like, that's impressive, right?
I've been wanting to clip your wings for a long time.
Yeah, I loved it. So I'm like, yes, like that was sweet, right? So like, don't be wrong. I liked his character. That's why, like, when I was trying to explain earlier, it's not that I didn't like his character. The inventions thing confused me. Essentially, is what I was trying to get to there.
I gotcha.
It just kind of confused me. But like his character though was sweet though. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it was because I liked the ring thing. I liked how he could like has a little bit of like technology, sweet little things. You know what I mean? I thought it was pretty cool, right? You know?
For sure, dude. That was definitely a highlight when because I'm like, well, obviously, like the super speed, he's gonna get one good hit on you, and you're gonna feel that. You're gonna hopefully tire him out. But when that dude just started like hitting him, getting him locked down, I definitely enjoyed that. I definitely did.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
All right.
So, but yeah,
we talked a long time about this movie, and I think it's just because of I understand. 44%, I understand.
Yeah,
I think it was trying to be something that it wasn't. Because even like when I think about Infinity War and Endgame, like those movies to me are like pretty epic. Obviously, I mean they have giant casts. and they do a well of spreading everything out and showing everything and doing story. This just wasn't there. This just didn't fit. It's almost like the DC world where they're like, we're going to have the DC Joker in this movie with Joaquin Phoenix, but we're also going to have in the DC Extended Universe Joker, Jared Leto. But we may also have another Joker just in, just for backup for some other DC project. And you're just like, what the hell, man?
Yeah. Just give us one.
So this is like that, where it's like, is this movie supposed to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Like,
yeah, seriously. I mean, maybe we're just made in Marvel Studios just because they need, like, they're just open,
Yeah, right.
So they're just like, listen,
they tested that pilot out.
for sure.
Anyways, let's not waste any more time on that one.
So,
yeah. What's the next movie we watched?
So, we went to the movie theaters. I got to give you props here, So, you purchased the tickets online, and you did get, it was probably like the best seats in a movie theater I've had, at least in a long, long time.
Yeah, man.
It was phenomenal. I mean,
Cinemark, J11 and J10.
I'm telling
Solid.
you, perfect.
Yeah, right.
Perfect seats. It was absolutely.
It's like you don't have to move your head at all. It's just all
at
right
all.
there. Yeah,
yes, I even like relaxed and like sat with a little bit of like a lean, got comfortable, and I'm looking and I can still see everything. I'm like, dude, this is amazing. Like, I mean, it was pretty great. So,
I get that feeling every time like we get like those types of seats and we sit down. I'm like, solid seats.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I think sorry to say, I got the best ones because I didn't get kicked the entire time. So I had one guy behind me, barely said anything, and then your chair got kicked a couple times. So
yeah, I would say,
that, but
besides the movies that Jessica and I were basically the only ones in, I'm pretty sure I've had my seat kicked every single time. I don't know what it is. I get my seat kicked and freaking talkers. But anyways.
Yes. So we saw
What did we
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Spider-Man No Way Home. All right, so I definitely already knew a little bit about this movie just because like people could not keep their lids shut about, the multiple Spider-Men. So even though Andrew Garfield kept saying no, even though Toby was like no, I'm like, you are. Like, there's no reason that you're having to say no.
Yeah.
There's been other Spider-Man movies, and nobody said shit before. So, I seriously had so much fun in this movie. There are movies that when I'm sitting there and everything's happening, and there are just these iconic scenes that like they're history making. They're amazing. They're so cool. And you're sitting there and you're like, like you can't help but become like, I'm freaking pumped right now. Like I get so jazzed, and especially like real sweet fight scenes or really cool choreographed fight scenes. But in the Marvel universe, you get team ups, and these team ups rarely, besides Eternals, team ups rarely are boring, this team up of all three Spideys, man, was just one of my absolute favorite things I've ever watched. And it was so much fun. Yes.
The thing at the top of at the tower they're standing on, okay?
The Statue of Liberty.
Yes, the Statue of Liberty. Yes. So that was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. When they're like, "You ready?" and they all three start running, and then they're shooting webs. One shoots web and swings off of a Spider-Man.
Yep.
And they're like laying it in their certain way, dude. I'm just like, this. How do you top this? How do you not just want to be like, I'm good. I'll never do a Spider-Man movie again because that was just so much fun.
Yes, yeah. You literally couldn't get that part of Spider-Man any better.
Yeah,
any better whatsoever. Like, I mean, even the camaraderie, because they, like of all three of them at the same time too.
They're all so Peter Parker, right? Like,
exactly. Yes,
it's so funny because you know,
Peter Parker.
Yeah, yeah, Peter Parker. Yeah. So when Andrew Garfield comes in and he's like, oh, you know, he's very like energetic and he's punky, and I'm like, I really enjoyed him as Spider-Man. I thought he was great. I thought he was a great casting choice, great actor, and it just sucked because you know what Sony did to it. But he was a great Spider-Man. So as soon as like he's like coming in, hanging from the ceiling, I'm not gonna do that, guys. I'm not gonna crawl. I'm not gonna crawl on the wall. This is enough. This is enough, right? They're like, no, you got to do this. Yep. They're simple moments, but they make me laugh so hard because I'm like, this is so incredible.
Yes,
I'm seeing Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man in a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
What is happening?
This is freaking out. And he's just like, it's like no time had passed. He is like the same exact, like, you know. Well, which is cool because he's like, you know, the last thing I remember, I was, you know, fighting the Russian Rhino, which is funny because at the end of Spider-Man 2, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, he's fighting Paul Giamatti. But so that I love the way they tied it in as like this is all happening at the same time, just on obviously different realities, different universes, the multiverse. So I just loved the Andrew Garfield, and he came in and just like knocking it out of the park, and then you get Tobey because like he was such a sweetheart as Peter Parker. He was such a trusting and hopeful guy, and it was the same freaking Spider-Man.
Yep.
Hey man, you gotta stop saying about that stuff. You're amazing. You're amazing. Yeah. Okay, it's like thank you. I needed to hear that. You know, like,
I need to hear that today. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, it's so.
I just absolutely love the pep talks that they're giving themselves. Like, dude, it's just so good. Like, you could do this. Hey, you're fine. You know. Like,
yeah, that's the camaraderie that I like probably enjoyed the most. Because actually, even that same scene where they're on top of the Statue of Liberty.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? Like, that scene where they're talking up top, or the part that you just said, was probably one of my favorite part.
Oh, yeah.
In general, like, those guys.
When they're talking about themselves, of, like, what they, you know,
like what happened.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so good, man. Yeah. You know what I mean?
All right. So, also, there's a really funny scene where they're like, hey guys, we're everything's a mess. You know, they're trying to work as a team, but they're not. I've never worked on a team before. I'm usually solo, and it's like so is the other one, and they're like, I've actually worked on a team before. I've got this, guys. I don't want to brag, but I will. It's just so funny. It's like all three of these Spider-Men. I've loved every one of them. So it's just something couldn't have been more perfect. But how they tied in these different universes as well is very exciting because of Aunt May, Uncle Ben. Oh my goodness!
Ben.
My brain failed for a minute. Uncle Ben. How they all have like different stories of how it happened, what happened, and Tom Holland's Spider-Man gets a different version of that, and Aunt May gets to say the words, and I loved when they're like, great power comes great responsibility, and they're all like looking at each other like, whoa, I've heard that before. Yeah. Uncle Ben,
nope.
Aunt May, and I loved it. I thought Marissa Tomei was phenomenal. I mean, she's a great, a top, A-list actress, and she showed it. I mean, there's a reason why she was picked. It's because she could act, man. And
absolutely, she killed it.
An incredibly heartbreaking, sad moment. And you almost forget. You're like, oh my god, this is like part of what creates Spider-Man. Like this usually happens way earlier. So like you're not bracing for this, and when it happens, you're like, screw you, no way, man.
Yes, yeah. How's this gonna happen? Yeah. Oh. Yes. So, and the one thing, I'm not trying to give away all of it, but they tricked me with that, to be honest with you. They tricked me in that whole thing. It was probably I won't say the last person that I expected, but I thought it was actually, do you know who I thought was I thought Happy.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see Happy being like a self-sacrifice.
For some reason, exactly. Well, because he was trying to save for Aunt May too, right?
Right.
That's where. So like because he had investment in both. That's what when I was like going. If anything would have happened, it would have been to him, right? Because he had this inner turmoil, so he's gonna try to come be this bigger guy and strong. You know what I mean? Like this whole thing. You know what I mean? And then when it happened, I'm like, whoa. You tricked me. You got me. I don't know why my mind went to the other place, but that's where my mind was at the entire time.
I knew when she grabbed the bag, she started filling that bag. She grabbed the bag and started making a run for it. I'm like, you're not making it out of there. And this is BS.
That sucks. Yes, I was so involved.
Teared me up again. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yes. So I did say it, and it's gonna be true. I did tear up at that moment because it was actually, and even the part like how they brought it to you to where like even in the scene. You think something different, and then, oh, wait a minute. Nope. You're like, oh, wait, what? I went from a no to a high to a no? So, in that last crash, I'm like, yep.
Oh, yeah. When she delivered the lines, though, I was like...
Yeah, well, yeah, it's during that scene.
That's one of the best freaking things I've seen Marvel do. I think that was just awesome.
Yeah.
I thought... it's not Uncle Ben. It's Aunt May who is going to be his motivator. It's going to be Aunt May who gives him those lines.
Yeah.
And I love the, after it happened and they're like, what's a place that he would go to? And they go there and he's got to suffer, not suffer. He's got to go through this reality of these multiple Spider-Men there.
Yeah. After
thinking
this
he's going
happened.
through this stuff alone.
Yeah.
And they're like, for me, it was Uncle Ben, and
yeah. The other one was MJ, right? Andrew Garfield.
Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Not MJ.
Oh yes,
Gwen
yes.
Stacy,
Well, yes, but his girlfriend though. Sorry, like his MJ. Right? Yeah. So, yeah.
When that happened in The Amazing Spider-Man, I was truly shocked when he is flying through the Andrew Garfield one, The Amazing Spider-Man one. Mm-hmm. When he's flying through and you think he caught her and she hits the ground, you're like, holy crap, man! You just killed Gwen Stacy. Like
that's insane.
Yeah.
I'm about to go back and rewatch those ones too, man. Because I've watched the other ones so much because they're like easier to find.
And that's something that I really like too. Electrode got a hell of an upgrade from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Sorry, Jamie Lee Foxx. They like totally just didn't use him as an actor. They ruined that. It was just so bad. The villain was bad, and then in this one, I'm like, all right, this is sweet. He's like, I got myself a new body, Like,
absolutely, yeah. Good for
new
you.
New haircut, new
like,
body. It's so funny.
Yeah. Then he feels like, oh, I love the way that feels. I'm like, I mean, he played his part, I think, very, very well.
Oh yeah, I think all of them did. Doc Ock blew me away too, man. Like, it was just like refreshing to see, because I would say you've got a lot of vigilantes and anti-heroes that there's senseless killing going on and senseless body counts adding up, and then you have like Spider-Man who shoots you full of web and you deal with the cops, and you have Batman who's very similar, no guns, no killing. So I really like that they're like, because even the other Spider-Men were like, man, like, yeah, it's not like they wanted them to die. It's what had happened. So it was really such a cool idea of what they did with it. I love this movie. I got so giddy. I seriously was just like a kid in my seat when you're seeing them. Oh, how about like that? He's like, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is like looking at their cartridges, like, what's that? And he's like, I just have it coming out of my wrist. I'm like, yeah, man, that's so sweet. They're like,
yeah,
I'm not trying to, embarrass you. I think it's amazing. I think that's really cool. Like, we have to use cartridges. That's not as cool, all right?
Yeah. I run out. Yeah.
Tom Holland, of course, is like, does it come out of every hole?
Yeah.
Or like,
that's funny.
So just and then it was really comforting that Tobey Maguire is like, we make it work, and he's talking about him and his MJ. I'm like,
Oh.
Yeah, that's still going on. That's great. And they made, he looks age appropriate of like, this guy's been going around. He's even like, oh, yep, there it goes. He's like stretching his back out.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you got Andrew Garfield's one. You want me to crack that for you?
Yeah.
I love those Spider-Man attitudes, man. They're just. And then you've seen like the meme from the comic where like they're like different costume Spider-Man are pointing at each other, and like it happens like twice in this movie where. First, they're in the lab and they're like, "Hey, Peter," and they're like, like, well, which Peter? Which Peter? I'm Peter. Peter too? Well, no, like we're all still or Peter Parker. Like, no, dude, like we're all Peter Parker. But it happens again when like after they're like, Peter 1, like, wait, I'm not Peter 1. You're Peter 1. I'm not Peter 2. It's like. You'll have to look up the meme. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just a bunch of Spider-Men pointing at each other like, Spider-Man? Spider-Man?
Yeah.
So they like recreated the meme perfectly. So, the only thing I was disappointed was that Toby and Andrew went back. I want them for all Spider-Man movies. I think it should just be a trio of Spider-Man. Just run around, being friendly neighborhoods. And I want Miles Morales.
Does it say? Well, that's actually something I was going to bring up. I'm super pumped. I want to know how they're going to do it because, like, when you brought up Jamie Foxx's character, he actually says that.
Yeah, he's like, you give to the poor, you save all. Yeah, and he's like, man, I was really hoping you were black. And I was like, Miles Morales, man, come on.
That's it.
Bring him in. Come on. I love Miles' story, man. Miles Morales. That is one of the best games to play too on PS5.
I looked into buying it today. I didn't buy it today. I was looking into it, and then I started watching Red Driving Songs. But yeah,
great, and he would just feel like it would fit really well. But speaking of that, there is Into the Spider-Verse 2 coming out, in Part 1 and Part 2 of that. And I heard there's in developments Into the Spider-Verse, or no, it's Spider-Women. Yeah, Spider-Women Yeah, I think it's called Spider-Woman. And
really?
It's like Gwen Stacy is Spider-Gwen and Lady Spider. There's a whole bunch of them. I can't remember, but I was like, man, this whole universe is freaking. But I love it. I'm like, I gotta be careful though. Can't name drop Spider-Man too much around here because my daughter goes nuts over him. But I've been conditioning her. Over Christmas, my mother-in-law was very kind and gave me this Batman book that is the history of Batman, all his arch villains and all his bad equipment, his story, all that. It's really cool. So
you're brainwashing this
yeah, for sure. I'm like, who's that? Batman. Who's the best? Batman. That's right. One point she slipped up. She's just like, I love Spider-Man. I'm like, whoa. What? I love Batman. I'm like, that's better. You want to stay in the will? You want to stay in the will, kid? Wait till I die before you change allegiances, all right? But I gave her Batman and the Joker Funko Pops, and she was playing with them all day. Or not all day.
That's like
a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So obviously, I just love this movie. And
oh yes, 100%. Yeah, it was definitely a grade A movie. It was probably, honestly, I'll be very honest with you, it's probably my favorite Spider-Man ever. It's just simple Spider-Man movies. I mean, I don't know. I truly don't know how you could, like you said, ever top what they brought to us, and that's why, we had one friend that was not as pleasant with this movie, and I'm still blown away and don't understand what he's saying. He told me, we talked about it, and he goes, I just feel like they brought back the same characters, and he goes, they need to fix that. I'm like, listen, I understand if you have that feeling about it, but you got to think about how the way that they did it, it made sense the way they did it. And then like talking to him a little bit more, I felt like he was maybe winning. I was winning him over a little bit about that, but that was his biggest problem. He's just like, I just don't like the fact they use the same character. So I felt like I wanted to watch the same movie. I'm like, but it wasn't the same movie. You know what I mean? Really, like, it's a totally different main character, and then you have two side characters that come in.
That's the part you're missing. It's like, these are total separate universes. Like, those were Sony property movies. Those are Sony movies that are not connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe anyway. And they made them connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe by bringing them in such a cool way. Why would you not use some of the greatest villains that have ever graced the screen? Like that to me, well, you know, I like Sandman. I didn't care for the lizard guy. No. That's the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and Electro. I thought they did a lot better with him, so I was very excited.
Well, we did better for sure.
I love Doc Ock. Spider-Man 2 is one of my absolute favorites. And obviously the Green Goblin was sweet too. So it's like, man, that's crazy to me because I'm like, these guys have never touched the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So like this is a totally different thing, and you're incorporating Spider-Man's history. Because guess what? Now Tom Holland's Spider-Man has fought the same enemies as the other ones. I'm just saying. That's, to me, is super cool because
that's awesome.
Now, like, their multiverse, like, they're like fighting. They're like, oh, I fought that one. Remember when we fought that one together? Like, I need more movies with all of them. I don't know. I don't know if I could do a solo Spider-Man movie. Like, I love Tom Holland, but man, these guys are great. Yeah,
I agree. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. You want to start making? We can call Tom and everybody. We'll make our own Spider-Man.
We'll make our own. Yeah. Now, hey Tom, could you sign up for a different trilogy? You could keep your solo trilogy
for sure. We got you next.
Yeah, we got a new one.
Yeah.
I obviously came home. I was like, Jessica, you've got to see this movie because like there's so many things to talk about. Oh. There's many things. There's not many, but there's also there's a familiar face that graced the screen that I totally forgot about. Actually, there's two. The one is a lawyer, a blind lawyer that showed up in this movie, Matthew Murdock,
which is
I totally forgot that somebody had said that he was in this movie, and when he showed up, I'm like. Yes, I totally forgot that they kept. I can't remember his name right now. The actor. They kept him as the same character of.
What? Daredevil?
Oh my God!
Yeah,
the brain is failing.
Gotcha. Here, but, I was hoping. Yeah. Okay.
Like, Daredevil. Yeah. I'm so excited because, dude, Charlie Cox. That's his name. He was incredible as Daredevil. Like his seasons are amazing, and his team ups with the Punisher, amazing. Like that dude put in work to make Daredevil a badass and amazing. So. I am so excited. I just hope they do the same with Jessica Jones and Luke Cage because I thought all of them are great. I also really liked Iron Fist, and I know a lot of people didn't like Finn Jones as Iron Fist. I liked him. I thought he played the part well. But anyways,
I didn't watch that one, so I have no opinion on that.
So I just hope they do the same thing. So I was super excited to see a certain awesome blind lawyer. When he catches that Briggs, like, how did you do that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm a really good lawyer. Like, bro, no, we're coming back to that.
We're going to figure this out. Yeah.
And then the second one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who the second one was.
Is not tied to any, Marvel property. It's tied to Succession. Stewie showed up. He was the main cop, the main guy who was interrogating everybody in the beginning.
Oh, yes. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, you're right.
When he showed up, I was like, I also forgot I saw that he was in this movie. So when I saw his face, I'm like, yeah, Stewie. All right. Yeah, I'm always jealous of his facial hair. His facial hair is just always just like on point. I'm like, man, I'm always like, I trimmed recently, but it's like lumberjack. right. 2017. No, I'm just kidding. I shaved back in Vietnam.
I'm still waiting for it to grow back.
Yeah, right. It's still working its way out.
Yeah,
but no, I was super excited. What were? Oh yeah, we had talked about the one end credit. That was and then there was now I remember what the second end credit. So the first end credit was obviously a venomous, one. And then the second one was definitely a cool little lead up to this Doctor Strange movie, and I am super excited because like we get to see, which I've seen it all over the internet, so I don't care. An evil Doctor Strange, and I'm like super excited for an evil genius, you know? Like,
how is that going to work?
How do you defeat that guy, dude?
Yes, it's going to be impossible. I'm telling you, It's going to start an Avengers movie.
Dude, that would be cool if like the next big baddie is an evil. Oh yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah.
When he put him in the cage, I'm like, no, you didn't, Tom Holland. And then he just walks out. I'm like, perfect. And then he puts him in there in the what is that? The mirror dimension, and he leaves him there. I'm like, you're burning bridges here, there.
Yep,
bro.
absolutely.
Like,
seriously, how did this work? Yeah, how did this happen?
But I get it. Like you gotta give him a credit. Like Strange even said, he's like, after everything we've been through, I'm always forgetting that you're a kid. So it's not that he's a kid and making mistakes. He's a kid and he's got different ideas. He's got different ways of doing things. You might want to just listen to him.
Yeah.
He's got. I mean, hey, everything I've seen him do has worked pretty well. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna honestly blab on for hours about Spider-Man. I love that movie. I thought it was great.
It was fantastic. Yeah. So,
and I knew it was gonna be.
Oh yeah.
I went in with high expectations, and I walked out there even happier than I was.
Yes. Yeah.
What's the next movie we're gonna watch?
Actually, I don't know. I didn't look too hard. I did take a couple peeks, and I didn't see anything.
Let's just make it one movie this time. We did two. I had to do two double features because I skipped a week with The Unforgivable. But
yeah.
You had already watched it, and then
Mm-hmm.
How about Dune? Before it's ancient and nobody even cares about what we want to say about it.
Yeah, so I'm definitely in for that. I was thinking about that, but
I love full circles here. This is like a crazy one. Zendaya's getting shout-outs all over the place. We started with Euphoria, moved on to Spider-Man, and she's in Dune.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Wild.
This is gonna be a Zendaya kind of week then.
Yeah. And Timothée Chalamet from you might recognize him from Don't Look Up, also from many other movies. But yeah, I'm excited. Let's do that one. Dune.
All right, let's do it. Let's just get it done, get it in, and go from there. The old, in and out in my brain.
Oh yeah, the old in and out, in and out. Yeah,
that's so funny.
I'm gonna actually go to bed drinking a little bit of milk. I don't know if it's hallucinogenic milk, but
maybe. I was watching something and it actually messed with my brain because it was like I'm not gonna say it's like a teenage show, but it was like rated PG-13, and they brought up the in and out multiple times in that show, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is wild.
That's amazing.
I never heard this before in my life, and I watch a 1960s movie or 70s movie, and I hear it, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden now, 30, 40, 50 years later, here we are. Going in and out. Yeah.
It's spreading like wildfire 50, 60 years later. They must have heard our podcast. They're like, exactly. The old in and out. I get that. I'm pretty sure I understand what that means.
Truth.
Okay, so Dune, everybody. Wait.
Yep, Dune.
Once you've heard or watched this podcast, you're going to be like, oh my goodness. I love their thoughts. Can't wait for their thoughts on Dune.
No. And if you hate our thoughts too, let us know about it.
Yeah, I would actually like to know what's going through your mind right now as you hate our thoughts and you're listening still. So I really would like to know what's going on in your head.
You don't do that? You don't just listen to stuff that you hate?
Yeah. we were talking about, to make this podcast a little bit longer, It's so funny because like we were in the theater and I was like, oh yeah, you just had, you're watching one movie in the theater and then you got your phone up and you could watch another movie. You got 2 ears. Are you just discovering that you can listen to 2 different things at the same time because you have 2 different ears? So yeah, you can watch 2 movies at the same time if you want.
All right.
But you're going to miss some sweet web slinging action.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it.
Go
watch that movie. I'm definitely gonna go rewatch it. I'm taking Jessica, unless it winds up streaming on Disney Plus. I haven't heard anything more about that, so
gotcha. Okay.
We may need to hit up the theater because
yes.
I would like to watch that again. Anyways, I'm just like I said, I will blab on for hours about this movie.
Yeah.
So Dune.
Yeah, Dune.
And thank you everybody for listening and tuning in.
Thanks for watching.
And thanks for sticking out in this pretty long episode.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful week.
See ya.